How y'all doing today? It is February the 9th, 2024, Friday, and got a pretty good topic for you guys today. I have been dealing with nausea all morning today. I have just not felt good, but it's just part of this whole disease. I have nausea all the time, and speaking with people on here that are dealing with the same thing as me, it seems like that's a pretty normal thing to happen for most of us, to be dealing with nausea a lot. And on top of it, sometimes when I get real nauseous, I'll get the hiccups real bad, and I don't know what that's all about. And it's just like relentless hiccups. But it made me think about it, because I was trying to start filming this video just a second ago, and I couldn't stop hiccuping, so I ran in the house real quick to address it. And if any of you guys ever deal with hiccups and you just can't make it go away, one thing that I've always used, and I actually found this out when I used to be a drinker, because I used to, when I would get really drunk sometimes, I would get the hiccups and it would not stop. But something that really works for hiccups is peanut butter. Just get yourself a spoonful of peanut butter and eat it, and just like that, it's gone. And I'm telling you, just a couple minutes ago, I tried to film this like 2 or 3 times, and I would get 10 seconds into it and I couldn't stop, hiccuping, and it just knocked it out. So if you're ever dealing with that, try some peanut butter. It really does work. What I'm going to talk about today is there are a good bit of people on here who have ended up getting sick, and there's going to be people, unfortunately, that are going to end up getting sick. And I figure what I do today is talk about, I've gotten sick, now what? I wanted to give kind of like a starting guide, because I know how hard it can be if you've never really dealt with something like this before. You never dealt with any like being really sick. You've never had to deal with all this kind of stuff. We've all had something happen to us. We've had to go to the emergency room because we had to get stitches or something like this. But this kind of stuff is a little bit different. You're talking about an ongoing issue. It's not going anywhere. And then you have a whole list of different doctors you're gonna have to go to, and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm gonna get into that in today's video. And I just want to give you guys like a jumping board to go off of, just to give you a little bit of guidance on what to do, how to get started, and where you need to go from here. But before I do, I wanted to show you guys a couple things here. I know yesterday I talked about the merch, and I've got a couple things I wanted to show you guys. First thing, I've showed you guys before, but I did ask my mom when she made the mug the last time. I told her she had like a rope that went around. My dad was on submarines when I was a kid, and all of his cups when I was a kid from his submarine had the little rope around it, and I think that's where my mom got that idea from. I told her I don't really like that much. I really would rather just be more clean like this. But this is what the mugs are gonna look like. Nice big graphic on there on both sides. And then I had the hat made yesterday. Well, I got it picked up yesterday, but that's the hat, and that's embroidered on there. Nice little button hat, and these can be different colors, whatever color you want to pick. I can have those made, and I'll have all this stuff up on the website once I get that finished. I do have, so this is a long sleeve t-shirt right here, and then it's got the little thing on the front on the left breast right there. And then as well, I have a t-shirt here. And what I thought would be really cool to do is to add the 33 to the sleeve. I just thought that looked really neat. So anyway, you'll be able to get these once I get the website set up. Like I said, this nice big logo on the back. The 33 like this, if you want that 33 added to your sleeve, it's gonna be like $3 extra. And that's what it cost me to have it added onto there. I think that looks really neat like that. You could add it to anything. You could add it to the long sleeve t-shirt. You can add it to the hoodie. You could add it to anything that you want. It's just going to cost $3 extra. I'm not making any money off of that. That's exactly how much it costs for me to get that added on there. If you don't want to pay the extra $3, that's totally cool, and just order it. I'll set it up on there where you can add it if you want to add that on there. And like I said, I'm not making any money off of this. I'll show you guys exactly how much I'm paying for the shirts. I mean, I don't care. It's $3 extra to have the 33 put on there. I'll have all the pricing and all that stuff once I get the website done. And like I said, you'll be able to pick your colors, all that good stuff. And this isn't the only design of hat. There's also like fitted caps that you could get. I just really like this style of hat, if you can't tell. I mean, this is what I wear right here. But I just like the style. But there are different styles of hats, and I can get those made per order, so it's not a big deal at all. I don't have the prices and all of this stuff quite yet. I think the hats are going to run somewhere around like 30 bucks for you guys to purchase them. And then the rest of the stuff, like the t-shirts, are gonna be like 20 bucks. I'll have all the prices for that stuff later on, but it'll all be on the website. The link will be on the video, and like I said, I will personally ship those out to you. Probably gonna throw in a letter for each one of you guys when you do buy a piece of merch, just a personal little letter from me. I just want to make it, you know, maybe a little bit personal. If you'd like me to like sign the shirt or something like that, I'd be happy to do that as well. I'll make sure that I add like a little section on there for like special instructions or any of that kind of stuff. But like I said, I'll be personally handling all the shipping of these packages. I am gonna make sure that I add a little something a little personal into each one of the packages when I ship them out. Now, at some point, I'm sure this is gonna get to where, you know, it's going to get kind of out of control, but as of right now, when I first started off, it is going to be me doing it all by myself. So anyway, now that I've got it out of the way, but I'll let you guys know as soon as that's live and ready to go. I just don't have any way to accept payment right now. I've got to get a P.O. box as well. I want to make sure if anybody's got any problems and they need to return an item, I want to be able to have a P.O. box to return it. So I just need to get my P.O. box and the website finished. And my wife is actually going to be the one doing the website for me. I tried, and I am not that literate in computer technology. So my wife's going to be the one that's going to help me with that. She's going to get it all set up. My wife's really good with computers. And as soon as that's done, guys, I'll let you know, and I'll start taking orders. My plan is to have everything ready to go next week, midweek next week, at the latest. And as soon as it's live, I will let you guys know, and you'll be able to place orders immediately. Like I said, we're probably looking at a 1 or 2 day delay. So after you place your order, I will send the orders over to the place. They will make them for me, and I will grab them, and I will personally ship them off myself. So anyway, now that we're all done there, like I said, today I want to talk about, so you've gotten sick. Now what do I do from here? So the first thing that you're going to need to do, so let's say you just ended up in the hospital with either pancreatitis, or you've been dealing with some issues lately, and you just went to the hospital and they told you that you have cirrhosis or fatty liver or any of these things that are associated with alcohol. If it is associated with alcohol, like health related, I've pretty much dealt with a lot of the things that come along with it. And that's why I'm going to talk about this today. So the first thing you're going to want to do, as soon as you do, like I said, you come out of the hospital after pancreatitis, or you went to the hospital and they told that you have fatty liver or something like that, the first thing you need to do, if you do not yet, is you need to get a GP. You need to get just a general doctor. You're going to need that first in order to kind of get your next steps on the road. Now, if you already have a GP, that's great, and you're good to go. You're solid. If you do not, I didn't. My doctor that I had retired a few years beforehand, and I had never sought out another doctor. So I was going to like Doc in the Box anytime I'd gotten sick or whatever. But you really need to have your own doctor. Things are now this is going to be a lengthy process for you. You're going to want things to be a little bit more personal. You're going to be seeing your doctors a lot more frequently than you ever have. So you're going to need to make sure that you have your normal doctor, and that doctor is going to be the one that's going to help you on your way down the road, because they're going to be sending you off to your next set of doctors. They're going to be referring you off to your other docs. So the next thing that you're going to want to do, so let's say if you're dealing with anything with pancreatitis or liver problems or any of that, you're going to need a GI doctor. If I was you, I would get on the internet and start looking around your area. This is one of the most important things I would say for you right now. Your GI doctor is going to be your best friend, and you want to make sure that you get the best GI doctor that you can possible. So if you have to drive 2 hours for the best GI doctor that you can, well, you need to drive that 2 hours to go see him. You don't have to go every single week, but you are going to be going kind of regular, especially at the beginning. But trust me when I tell you, make sure that you get the best GI doctor that you can, because they are going to be the one that you're really going to be dealing with the most now. Your GI doctor is going to be your go-to. You're going to see your GI doctor more. You're going to see your GP. You're going to see your GI doctor. You're going to see anybody else. Trust me when I tell you, this is going to be the doctor that you are going to lean on. They're going to be the one that's going to be able to help you with all your medications that you're going to need. Your regular doctor is not going to know all the stuff that your GI doctor is going to know about your condition and what you have going on. Your GI doctor is going to be the one that's going to give you prescriptions for all the stuff you're going to be dealing with, like your lactulose and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you have a good GI doctor, because like I said, they are the most important for you now. So if you're going in there and you've got ascites, this is going to be the doctor who's going to be giving you your diuretics, your Lasix, your lactulose, your Xifaxan. All the medications that you're going to need right now are going to come from that GI doctor. Let's see here. Another thing that I would suggest that you do, most insurance companies offer a nurse health coach. When I first started dealing with this, my insurance company said, hey, we have a nurse health coach. Would you be interested? At first, I was like, I don't know. Excuse me. I didn't know, because I thought, nah, I mean, what are they going to do for me? But trust me, get yourself a nurse health coach. They are wonderful to have. They can really help you out when you need help finding a new doctor. They're just great to have. They can help you in so many ways. I would highly suggest asking your insurance company for one. They are gonna call you like once a week and want to ask you about your medications and all that stuff, but it's just really good to have one of those. It's just like a couple weeks ago, I was running into an issue with one of my doctors. My nurse health coach got on there, and she is with my insurance company, so of course she made sure that all the doctors she sent me a list of were in my group, and I was able to get my new doctor. But she was a big help, because if you got to call around or sit there and scroll through a list, just get one of those nurse health coaches. They'll help you out immensely when you're going through all this stuff. If you do not already, make sure that you have your calendar set up on your phone. I can't stress enough how important this is to have now. You're going to have so many doctor's appointments, so many different things, MRIs, CAT scans, liver tests, blood work, all this stuff. Set up your calendar on your phone and start using it. It is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. If you've never used your calendar on your phone, trust me when I tell you, you need to use it, because every time you go to the doctor, when you walk up to the desk and they say your follow-up appointment is going to be blah, 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 they always hand you that card. What always ends up happening with that card? You always end up losing it. Take your calendar out. As soon as you walk up to that desk, put it in your calendar. It's there. And anytime that because you're going to get phone calls left and right from different doctor's offices trying to set up appointments, procedures. All you got to do is just open up your phone, scroll to the calendar, and then when they say what day works for you, you can automatically look right at your calendar, and you'll know exactly what days you have other appointments on or days that you can't do it. Use your calendar on your phone. You can also share your calendar with other people. So if you have a spouse or a loved one or somebody in your family that might be helping you out through all this process, you can share your calendar with them. So they'll get alerts as well. They'll be able to look on your calendar and see what your schedule's looking like. So I would highly suggest doing that. Next thing to do, if you don't already have a good pharmacy, you need to find one. And I would definitely not go to one of the big pharmacy places like CVS or Walgreens or any of those guys. I would try to find either go to one of your grocery stores. You're gonna have your best luck with them. And this is just my personal experience, but CVS and Walgreens are always out on medications, especially some of these specialty medications that you're gonna have to deal with now. CVS and Walgreens never have them. They just never do. And then on top of it, they're so busy. Anytime you go in there to get your medications, you're gonna wait for half an hour in line to pick them up. I would go to a local mom and pop pharmacy, somewhere that you're gonna get a little bit better customer service. It's gonna be a little bit more personalized for you. And also the grocery store chains, a lot of times will have the medications that you need, or they can special order them, but I've just had better luck using those. But I prefer using a mom and pop pharmacy. Some stuff, you know, they might have to special order. It might take a little bit longer, but when you're dealing with any of this kind of stuff, there's some special medications that they just don't keep them around a lot of times. And they can get them in, but I just find it so much easier dealing with a mom and pop because, you know, they understand how sick you are. They're going to make sure that if, let's say, it's your pantoprazole that you're taking every single month, they're going to make sure that they keep it on the shelf because they know your refill is going to be coming up the next month. And they're going to make sure they've got that medication there for you. So I would highly suggest going with the mom and pop just because of the experience. It's going to be a little bit more tailored towards you, but that's just my suggestion. Another thing I would do is get a folder that you're going to put all your medical information in. You're going to need something now because every time you go to the doctor, they're going to give you a printout when you leave. Anytime you have blood work done, they're going to give you a printout of your blood work. You're going to want to keep all this stuff in one place because a lot of times when you go from one doctor to the next, they're going to ask you to bring your information with you, or you're going to need it for your insurance, or you're going to need it because you're filing for disability, or whatever it may be. Go ahead and have all of your paperwork in one spot. Another thing I'll tell you now, since I just brought it up, is that if you are if you've gone through any of this stuff, you've ended up getting really sick, and you think that you are not going to be able to work for quite some time, and you think that you might need to file for disability, you need to do it as soon as you get sick. Don't waste time. Go ahead and do it. The disability process for them to do your paperwork and stuff is not a quick one. It is a very lengthy one, and we're talking like a year and a half probably. So the sooner that you get your paperwork filled out, the sooner they start the process. So if that's something that you're thinking about that you want to do, you need to get focused on that ASAP. Do not waste time because it goes from the date that you file. So you need to jump on that as soon as possible if that's something that you think that you might need to do. And make sure, like I said, get yourself a file to put all your stuff in. You're going to need all that paperwork. If you don't have it, you're going to have to print it off at some point, especially if you're going to file for disability, because they're going to require all that paperwork from you. You have to have all of your medical information. And each one of your pieces of documentation has to have your name on top of it, your social security number, and I think there's a couple other things you have to write down on it as well, but all that has to go over to the Social Security Department, like I said. So just make sure that you keep all that information. The next thing that you're going to need to do, and this is something that you're going to need help from your GP, is you're going to need to, and if you're having liver issues, you're going to need to find a liver specialist. This is another one of those things that you can do your research on and try to find, and then you can ask your doctor to refer you to that doctor, because a lot of times your doctor will ask you, who would you like me to refer you to? They're probably thinking you've already done some research and you know where you want to go. And you know who's going to be in your group and who's not. Your doctor doesn't know any of that information. They're just going to refer you to somebody. So do your research. The internet is your friend. Do your research. Find a good liver specialist. And you need to go ahead and get to them as soon as possible and see them. The next thing as well, if you're dealing with pancreatic issues, you need to get yourself a pancreatic specialist. You need to go start seeing them as soon as possible. You really want to deal with these specialists. These guys, this is what they do all day long. And they're the ones who are really going to dive deep into what's going on with you and your condition and how bad off that your liver is or your pancreas is. I've had problems with both my liver and my pancreas, and I am so glad that I went and met with a specialist, because my liver specialist is the one that found out that I had blood clots. And if those hadn't ever gotten found, I don't think I'd be talking with you guys right now. The liver specialist is the one that asked for the MRIs with the contrast. I went and had that done, and as soon as I went to his office, he pulled out the piece of paper and said, look at this right here. You have blood clots in your liver. The pancreatic specialist, I went and saw him before I got pancreatitis for the 3rd time in that year. He had looked at the imaging and everything that I had, pulled it up. He was showing me the cysts that were on my pancreas and how they were shrinking. Well, then I got sick again. That doctor was the one that said, come down to Charleston immediately. You have a blockage in your pancreatic duct. We have got to do an ERCP on you as soon as possible. I went down to Charleston and had an ERCP done. If I hadn't had that ERCP done, I don't think I'd be talking with you right now either. It's those specialists are the ones that really help me out. So make sure that you get one if you're dealing with those kinds of problems. And I understand that some of you guys probably live way out in rural areas where you just don't have a doctor that's right next door to you, but you might have to drive a little ways. I drive almost 3 hours to go see my specialist down in Charleston, and it is what it is. But I want to see the best of the best. We're talking about our health here. And you really want to make sure you're seeing the best doctor for you that's going to be able to help you the best that they can. So another thing that you want to make sure that you do, make sure that you got your insurance card with you all the time now. Go ahead and make a copy of it. Keep a copy in your wallet or your purse, and then go ahead and I would laminate your insurance card and have it. It needs to be on you all the time now, and your ID. Make sure you have those things on you. Another thing that you want to do is make sure that every single time that you go to the doctor, they are going to, a lot of the doctor's offices and hospitals now have portals. When you go see your doctor or you go to the hospital, ask them if they have a portal or online that you can get to. It's so much easier when you have the portal access. If you need a refill on your prescriptions, you don't have to call the doctor, sit there on hold for 30 minutes and all that jazz. You can hop on the portal. You can go in there and send your doctor a message, say I need a refill on my medication. They can respond right back to you or send it in. That's it. It's super easy. You can go on the portals most of the time and change doctor's appointments. You can reschedule. You can ask the doctor a question. I mean, the portal is a lifesaver. Not to mention you can go on there and you can print off any of your health information that you need to do. If you have any scans or anything that another doctor's requesting, you can just give them your portal information and they can just pull it themselves. Sign up for the portals. Ask each one of your doctors if they have portal access. If they do, sign up. Trust me. And just keep that information somewhere. I would have it written down in your wallet or something, or in your purse with all your passwords and stuff to that, because you need to be able to have access to that. And you never know when you're going to need it. So make sure you have that stuff with you all the time. Another thing as well, on most smartphones these days, on the home screen part of the phone, when you just click on the button before you unlock it, there's a place for you for like a doctor or like paramedics, for them to pull up your health information. You can also do it on smartwatches. I have it on both my phone and my smartwatch. Go ahead and do this, and I would write it down or type it out and put it on a little piece of paper and have it in your wallet or in your purse. You need to have all your health information somewhere now. You've got some serious issues if you're dealing with any of this stuff, and they need to know. Know your blood type. Have all your conditions written down. Are you diabetic? Do you have liver disease? Do you have chronic pancreatitis? Do you have this and that? Whatever it may be. Have all of your conditions written down, plus all the medications that you're on, and any allergies that you have. Have all that stuff in one place for them to be able to look it up. You never know what might happen to you. You might fall down and pass out in the middle of the grocery store. If you've got that stuff on your phone, they can pull it up and they can know exactly what it is. And if you're allergic to something like, let's say, penicillin or something, that's a big deal and they need to know that. So have all that information ready for them to be able to find it. If you're dealing with anything like having a TIPS procedure, or you've had to have some stents placed in your pancreas, or stents in anything, they're going to give you a stent card, and you need to make sure that you have those on you all the time now. Those are very important. Keep your stent cards. Also, take pictures of those stent cards, have it on your phone. Keep those on you all the time. I cannot stress it enough. That is very important for you to have on you. If you have any stents, make sure you got those cards with you. Another thing as well, make sure you go ahead now, and this is one of the biggest things I can suggest for you guys. I can't tell you how important this is. And I didn't learn my lesson until later on, after I've gone to the hospital multiple times. If you're dealing with any stuff, you're pretty sick. And you never know when things are going to go awry. Make sure that you have an emergency hospital bag ready all the time. I am going to make a video on that this weekend. And I'm going to show you everything that I keep in my hospital bag at all times. I'm also going to do a video this weekend, and I'm going to talk about the cost of all this as well. I just want to give you guys kind of an idea of how much some of this stuff runs. Just for those of you who might have to deal with this or are dealing with this and you're kind of wondering how much all this kind of stuff costs, I'm going to give you a roundabout figure on a bunch of this stuff. But anyway, you really want to make sure that you got a hospital bag ready to go. I have gotten really sick before and had to jump up and leave. One time I went to the hospital, I didn't have anything with me. Ended up having to go to the hospital. Next thing you know, I was getting shipped off to Charleston. I didn't have a change of clothes. I had nothing. I ended up going down to Charleston. Had no idea I was going to be down there for 2 weeks. I was washing my socks and my underwear in the sink because I had nothing else. And finally, my wife went to the store and bought me some new underwear and some socks and a couple t-shirts and stuff. But just, it's so much better if you just go ahead and have a bag already packed and ready to go. You get sick, you grab that, you leave. You got your toothbrush in there and all that good stuff. I'll go over that this week with you guys on what I keep in mind. I'm actually going to bring my bag out, open it up, and show everything to you. And that one right there, I promise you, it is like the most important thing to have around right now. You just never know when you're going to get ill. And you need to have that in case things go bad. That way you're going to at least have those little comforts that you want to have when you're in the hospital, and those just make the biggest difference. The smallest comforts in a hospital setting can change your whole experience, but I'll go over that with you in another video. And then the last but not least thing, you're gonna need to find somebody to help you now. Okay, you're sick, and there's a lot of procedures that they're not going to do it if you don't have a ride, especially like when you got to have an ERCP done or anything where they put you under. You can't drive from those appointments. So if it's outpatient, you're going to need a ride home that day. So you're going to need to find somebody who can help you. So one of the biggest things you need to do now, find a family member or a friend or somebody that is willing to give you a hand whenever you have a procedure where you're going to need a ride. Just trust me on that one, because there's going to be some things that you are going to have a ride for, and they will not do the procedure unless they know that your ride is there, because they will make your ride show their driver's license and sign a piece of paper before they will do that procedure. They will not let you leave that hospital. They will put you in a wheelchair after you're done and wheel you out to the front door, and they will not let you get up until somebody pulls up for you to get into that car. So you got to make sure you can't get past that one. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video today. Well, it's actually not quick now, we're 30 minutes in, but I just want to make a video today and talk about the things, to help prepare you for what is going to come ahead. Give you some little tips and just talk about it a little bit. I know for me, it was quite eye-opening for me. I just had no idea. I'd never dealt with anything like this before. And now that I've dealt with it all, I figured I would take the knowledge that I've gained through all this and share it with you guys. That way it'll just make it a little bit easier on you, and you're not looking at everything and wondering, what the heck do I do from here? So like I said, tomorrow I'm going to talk about the cost of all this stuff. Just give you some roundabout figures on how much all this stuff costs. Give you another couple tips and tricks in tomorrow's video. And I think that's about it. So with that said, we broke 3,000 subscribers last night. When I last looked at it, was 3,040. Man, this channel is just, I can't even believe it, how big it's grown. I was just listening to somebody this morning on a podcast I was listening to, and I guess he's got a YouTube channel, and he said that it took him a whole year just to get to 1,000 subscribers, and this has gotten over 3,000 subscribers in 3 months. Just mind-blowing. And I have nobody to thank but you guys, because without you all, this channel's nothing. I mean, people have to watch the channel, and they have to subscribe. If there's nobody subscribing and watching, I mean, it's just me talking into a camera, and nobody's watching it. So I have nobody to thank but you guys. So thank you so much, guys. I love y'all so much. I hope you guys enjoy your Friday night. And I hope everybody has a nice sober one. And with that said, until tomorrow, I love y'all so much. Bye-bye.